we just came down here to put some stinging nettle in the ground, and all of a sudden I looked over and I'm like
touching the plant.
I'm like, I know this plant,
right.
I know this tree, and in the last 10 years of us being here, I have never found one.
Nope.
And we just found
a pawpaw grove.
A little pawpaw grove, and we even have baby pawpaws.
Yep, all down here.
Look
this
how
is so
big.
Exciting.
Oh my gosh, this is like my childhood. This is my childhood coming, and
I'm so excited for this.
We have been wanting pawpaw for a while, so.
Well, I had tried propagating it and wasn't successful.
Yeah.
And then here it's been growing here all along.
Yep.
So we need to
gotta clean it up.
Yep, we need to clean this area up.
Okay. And we gotta make sure to.
Right here, this is the mother tree right here.
Yeah.
See it on the back? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have at least 5 right here. Thank you.
Yeah, we hope. I don't see flowers yet. It's still a little early. The flowers are so pretty.
They're black or brown.
But,
oh, how exciting.
Yep. And then there's a baby right here. There's a few babies.
All over the place.
This is a baby.
Right here.
Yep, right here.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4.
That is exciting. All right. Now let's keep looking because there's another one here.
Yep. I'm crying.
I know.
This just is so special. Okay, the next one where's the witch hazel?
Yes, we'll find the witch hazel. What's going on, friends? Welcome back to the Honeystead. My name is Kaylee.
And I'm Bridget.
Mom and I are up in the garden. We are going to take you guys and show you a quick little garden tour because there's been a lot of things that have changed.
Absolutely.
Since the last couple of videos that we've shown, and then there are still some plants that we have to go and get into the ground. So
yes,
we're taking advantage of no rain today because it's been really rainy for the last couple of, I feel like,
week,
yeah,
2,
yeah,
4.
So here we go. Let's go into the garden. I'll show you what we have growing. So this little plant that we have growing in the garden, we actually did not plant this here, but it decided to come back from last year, and I was like,
flourish.
I know. So we were like, we can't just pull it up, and we didn't really know where we wanted to put it in the new garden rows. But I think this is a perfect example that sometimes beautiful gardens can still flourish even when they're not growing in a row.
Right.
And I think you can take that with all things in life.
Well, not all ducks stay in a row.
No.
Neither do your plants.
Neither do the plants. But this plant right here, this is called mugwort. We've been growing it a few years. I don't use it as often as I do some of the other medicinal herbs that we grow.
I probably should, though.
Probably should.
So one of the things that's nice about this plant is it does help to induce or help promote restful sleep. And so somebody with insomnia, well, you know, if you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes and you can't go back to sleep, this might be a great little plant for you to have in your cupboard and maybe drink a cup of tea.
Or if you are one that you get up multiple times in the middle of the night to go pee, maybe the tea is not your avenue to take in these herbs. So you can also use this one as a tincture. I know for me, if if it isn't a tea, it's a little bit bitter.
Oh, it's very bitter because it's in the Artemisia
yeah,
family.
it is. It's in the it's a little bitter. It's not bad. So it does do well with like chamomile and of course honey. I have chopped up some mugwort, and I've actually infused mugwort and honey together. So that was a little fun one, but this one we have growing. You can also use it for irregular periods, menstrual pain. That's also helpful. So we're gonna let this plant grow, and it's quite lovely. I've noticed, one thing that I've noticed is it really has brought in more of the ladybugs, which we have ladybug babies. I saw a couple of them.
They're all over the plant. They're
here's one. I'll show you. And as beekeepers, that is the one thing with the garden is we don't use any type of pesticides, any type of herbicides. I use bugs to combat the other things. So between ladybugs, we welcome the ladybugs, I welcome the spiders, I welcome the praying mantis. We actually will put praying mantis babies all around us.
All the cocoons
I'm
that
just
we'll
like,
find, we'll bring them up.
Here's a home, and they help. They do the work.
Just
they do
don't
the work.
bring them in the house.
Yeah.
The praying mantis, and then forget about them, and then fire up your wood stove, and then let it get warm enough for the praying mantis babies to hatch.
That true story. That
that's you.
I was saving babies the whole time.
What, 10 million?
Yeah, it was a lot. Now this beautiful bed, again, more volunteers. We transplanted, we tried to save some from last year's garden and move them over, but this is motherwort. Now I know I've shared about motherwort in the past, but if you guys are new here, that's okay. We do share a lot about medicinal herbs and just things that we do to support our health. But this is one of our favorite cardiovascular herbs. Wonderful for the cardiovascular system.
The bees are loving it.
The honeybees are definitely, and the bumbles.
Yeah.
I sometimes just love to sit out here and just watch all the happy pollinators just get brought in, and ladybugs and all the bugs. But yeah, we do use this as a tea. We also will use it as a tincture. I also infuse this one into honey as well, but really great for strengthening your cardiovascular system, and it also does so much more. And everybody could use a little bit of mother.
Absolutely.
So.
Look how this is a great example of the square stems, letting you know it's part of that mint family.
Yeah. What we've been doing is coming through and just kind of transplanting them. This is where I had a lot of my motherwort grown, and of course,
oh look, a catnip.
Yeah, that's where the catnip was growing, but Mr. Cosmo just loves the catnip. But I have so many babies that we've been transplanting. Like this right here is lemon balm, this is chamomile, Cosmo's laying in the catnip. But as we've seen baby motherworts, I will actually go and transplant them. And that's what we've done for even the chamomile, which looks a little pitiful, but soon enough it will start bushing out. We've got a lot of young chamomile babies. Now those right here, I'm actually gonna let go to seed, like this one. And one of my favorite things to do is as soon as it starts going to seed, like that, I'll just sprinkle it. And that is how you get a really thick chamomile yield, because one plant will only produce so many flowers, but if you have a nice huge bed, then you'll get an abundance. Hi, Cassie. Yeah, you can smell the sweet.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore chamomile.
It smells like honey.
I know, it is so sweet, and it's such a delicate little flower, but it really does offer a lot of medicinal properties. I know a lot of people just look at chamomile and they're like, oh, sleepy tea.
Right.
Which is true, 100%. It is
Absolutely.
a sweet way to just drift off to sleep, especially if you're in, love it in tea form. Chamomile is probably one of our main herbs that we use in the nighttime for tea blends, because it really does help just naturally sweeten it.
It's also, it just relaxes you because of the nervine properties in
Mm-hmm.
there. So it just helps to the nerves that are hot and on fire, it just helps to cool them down.
Yeah. But I love chamomile because it is also an anti-inflammatory. So if your body is a little bit sore from working in the garden or doing the things, you sip on that. Again, it's going to help restore your sleep, but also help with inflammation in the body. For me, some days when I'm working on the computer, instead of, rubbing my eyes, like if I'll make a cup of chamomile, I'll take the bag and I'll just rest the tea bag on my eyes, especially if I'm straining.
Absolutely.
So it's a great little plant. You do have to grow a good bit of it to get a good harvest.
It's a lot of work to make a cup of tea.
Yeah, but once you start establishing some of the plants, it is so easy to just allow more seeds to drop, and then you're going to end up with a nice thick bed of chamomile. Now I'm doing this kind of in stages. We're dropping some seed. I also have some younger plants right there that have not gone to flower yet. But when they do, I'm anticipating this whole bed to be a thick, lush patch of chamomile. This one right here is called lemon balm, and I think definitely one of my favorite like spring, summer herbs.
Oh, I love lemon balm.
It's very calming.
It is. It's good in a tea.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also were saying you like it how?
Oh, so I'll come up, if I'm working in the garden, I'll come up and I'll cut a couple of sprigs and I'll put it in a mason jar and just set it in the sun for a little bit, and then add a little bit of ice to it. And between this and hibiscus, we need to show you guys how to make some sun tea. I don't think I have. But a sun tea basically will just allow the herbs to infuse in the water and be slightly warmed up by the sun.
Naturally.
But this one is a very happy little plant. It is very uplifting, good for your digestive system. I don't know, it's happy.
It's a happy plant.
It's a happy plant. We make a tincture with lemon balm and passion flower.
That's great over the winter. I would think when people, when you just don't get enough sunshine, this is one way to get sunshine back in.
Yeah, and it's very, like I said, uplifting. So the seasonal blues, I think this one is great. Now, of course, all of the plants that we're talking about, it is important for you guys to do your own research to make sure that the plants are right for you, because not every herb is right for every single individual. And when you're doing your own research, it only will help you become a better herbalist, really, in the end. But I love how sweet and lemony, it has like a very citronella-like fragrance. So sometimes too, I'll take a couple of the sprigs and I'll put them in my hair, and it does help keep some of the bugs down. Maybe not as much with the gnats, but definitely some bugs. But you can feel the volatile oils. Now, since it is in the mint family, it does like to spread, which is
all the babies.
Yeah. So we've come through and we've been able to transplant a lot of these plants.
I still have
There's motherwort. Oh my gosh,
I got a little chamomile right here.
It's a surprise.
See, look, it's getting ready to even go to bloom.
There you go. But yeah, I do like lemon balm, and it can grow really well in a pot too. If you're have like a patio garden, you don't need to actually like put it into the ground. And like I said, if you do, just be mindful, because you are going to have a lot of lemon balm babies. So
anything in the mint family, be mindful of where you plant.
And we're
getting bombarded.
Yes, we are getting bombarded.
Come here.
I love you, Moose.
Moose. Hi, Moose. Hi, baby.
The cats have been following, and Cosmo has found the catnip again.
He's intoxicated with the catnip.
I'm gonna have to plant a Cosmo garden. Okay, Moose. I love you too, buddy. I love you too.
He's his pet mom.
I know.
Pet mom.
You are such a brat. That is my plant that I'm supposed to be growing. Moose, what is he doing? You're killing it, Cosmo. No, not me. Now, the cat decided to harvest a chunk of catnip.
I'm gonna go make it in a tea.
Right. This is for the whiny, cranky baby. I swear, I was like, I think between the animals, I might just have to start putting the animals up when I'm coming and doing a vlog, because they're all up in our business, which is fine. It's fine. Everybody's fine. We love the catnip. But this one right here is a go-to when it comes to trips. I bring this one with me. Like, this is in my travel first aid kit that I have.
Dry and tincture?
Dry and tincture.
Okay.
And actually too, I will say, like, this one right here has saved many upset stomachs, because when we're gone and we're not here, like, we're eating food that we're not really, cooking. And so, like, we've had upset stomachs, and I'm actually getting ready to go on a trip. We're going down to Tennessee to Rory Feek's farm for the Homestead Festival. I'll be speaking there, and I'll set up. We'll have a lot of mushroom blends, and I'm also doing a demo there as well for the Beekeeper's Apothecary, because I do a lot of herbs with honey and all the things. But that being said, this one is definitely made it into the book that's going to be coming out very, very soon. So pre-orders are available now. They have been available for a little while, so if you guys have already ordered, I am so excited.
Yes.
But yes, I will add that link to this. But yeah, this one right here, great for upset stomachs and has helped me tremendously.
Also very, very beneficial to bring along, not only just for upset tummies, but like we had stated, if you are overwhelmed and, like for example, going on this trip, just lots of new things going on, change in schedule, excitement, everything that's going on, to meet everybody, see everybody, talk to everybody. This is a great little herb to bring along, because it just helps calm you down when you feel overwhelmed and you feel like you need a timeout.
Yeah,
that's a great plant to utilize to just kind of help reel it back in and calm down. This paired with maybe some of the lemon balm,
lemon balm,
and the chamomile,
and some milky stage oats.
Oh,
yeah, there's
lovely.
So many fun things that you can use and do with this herb.
But you got to keep it away from the cats while it's growing.
Apparently, because he just turned vicious.
Well,
now this is one part of the garden that I have been waiting for a couple of years to do, and I'm very excited that we finally were able to put it up. But we have a huge cattle panel, runway, archway, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be so beautiful when all of the plants are growing up and over. We have got passion flower that I planted on both sides. Then we have birdhouse gourds. Then we have a few different squash. I have some loofahs. We also went ahead and did some Thai long beans, some cucumbers. So as soon as this starts really growing, I'm excited to see how much natural shade we're gonna have. We've been talking for years about, do we put up a little canopy? Do we put up a little pavilion space so that when we are hot, we can get out of the sun? But for the last couple of years, I've been growing passion flower as an archway, and it's become my little fortress. But now, like, having something like this, I can't wait. I also did get lights that we're gonna string from one side all the way down, so at night when we come up here and we can sit it's wide enough that we can get our lawnmower through it. We can also put a little bistro, little seating area. And yeah, I can't wait. I think I'm most excited about the birdhouse gourds and passion flower, of course. What's really cool is I have this archway that my husband built me that goes into the apiary, and I just looked. We actually have a passion flower that started to pop up that's gonna climb up and over. I'm pretty excited that it's coming back, but all the girls are starting to fly home. I gotta come in here and spend a little bit of time, but I am hoping to plant some zinnia flowers around the front of this whole apiary. So I'll be putting some seeds in the ground probably tomorrow, but right now we have got to head down to the creek because I have some stinging nettle that we started from seed, and I've had a few people reach out and ask, like, how do you plant it? Being that our last couple of videos have pretty much been about stinging nettle, so I figured we would go down to the creek and plant that and get it established down there. Definitely not in the garden, but down there, yes, it's welcome. There she is. She comes back all the time.
Oh, wow, look how big she is.
Let's say hello. She's a big, big snake. And I have this one snake. We've got a few resident black snakes that are very much loved.
See the one that comes visits you?
Oh, I'm sure. She's a big girl. This is one of our cottonwood trees, and it has a really large burl in it. I told my husband not that I ever want to cut it down, but if it does ever fall down, I'd be interested in seeing what it looks like when if we could mill it. So, big girl. Hi, are you hunting? We'll leave you. We'll leave you alone. I love this part of the property, but I'm thinking, because we cut this grass, so I'm thinking if I plant it, I'm gonna either plant it directly along the side or over here. We're gonna have to harvest some flowers to make some elder honey. That's another fun thing. So over the last couple of years, we've been growing marshmallow, which is a beautiful flower. Actually, it's in the hollyhock family. So it looks very much like a hollyhock. You can actually use the hollyhock in the same way, but the root has so much mucilage in it, and that is what we use for as a cold infusion. We use marshmallow root, very similar to like slippery elm, right. But this is like a lot less harsh on the plant, because when you harvest the bark from the slippery elm, yeah, it could hurt. I mean, it could really hurt the actual tree.
Right.
But the root of this has the same demulcent like properties, so very, very soothing, good for your digestive system.
Very
great
healing for the gut.
Yeah,
too.
And good for the throat.
Yes.
So we have a couple of babies that we figured let's put them close to the creek since we were down here, and we're gonna put it next to our blue flag iris, which also has some medicinal properties, but we'll talk more about that one I think on a later date. So Mom and I are actually talking about kind of doing something a little bit more private, not about certain medicinal herbs, kind of having more of a conversation to where it's not necessarily on YouTube. There are some things that we'd like to go in more depth about, and so that is something that we're discussing and in the works. It's in the works. But we've got this beautiful little marshmallow plant. We've got a few of them, and we want to see how well they grow down here close to the creek. This space right here is just one of my favorite little nooks.
Hideaways.
Yeah. So
there's a lot of roots here, so we have to be careful where, how many you got? 4?
No, not too many. So we'll just put them.
We kind of tried to loosen up the soil a little bit.
Yeah. And I think they'll be happy down here. So.
And then I got one more here.
What's nice?
Just grab the whole thing.
Yeah. What's nice is we're not going to really have to water. So that's what's really awesome. I think that was it. So these will grow, and in a couple of years, the root will be able to be harvested, or we just might let it go to seed and drop, and then boom. Now we have a tray of some stinging nettles that I'm going to put on the other side. This whole little area, we come down here, but it's not like the other areas of the creek where we actually go and like hang out and do bonfires. So
this is
hopefully
a little more secluded down here.
Hopefully nobody will get in this patch and then start yelling at us.
Like, why didn't you tell me that plant was there before I cut?
Oops. All right, we got to put these in the ground. Okay, let's do that over here.
Yes.
This will also help with. This will also help kind of protect it too, you know. So
I think this is a good little spot.
I think so too. And nobody really comes back here, so yeah, I think it'll be good.
I know Kaylee has shared many times that we have tried introducing nettles, and we just have not been successful. And
after seeing the river, that property.
Yeah, so there was a video, Kaylee will put the link in, where we went down and we had the opportunity to harvest from a dear friend's property. And I don't think I've ever seen nettle
not
that
like that
prolific. So that kind of gave us a little bit of a change of location and plans when we started these seedlings to come down by a water area, give it a little bit more of a sun, and kind of shadowed a little bit, but yet able to get quite a bit of sun. So we're going to try this location here. Nettles has so many different values that it offers. One obviously is the antihistamines, which is one of our main uses for the plant. You can use it in a tea and a tincture.
It's also one of my top herbs for the alpha-gal protocol that I'm working on.
Okay.
Of the tick disease.
Oh, yes,
So,
yes.
Yeah, so the alpha, because of the natural quercetin.
Correct.
Yeah.
So she's going to have more information on that available soon. But one of the things that I've been playing with in nettles is I love the flavor of it. I mean, it's just very, it's kind of like a spinach when it's cooked, but it's even richer. Like I can taste the minerals, and it's so high in minerals. I also blanched it, and then I've got some in the freezer. My intention for that later on is to make some quiche. Once this harvest becomes more bountiful and we get to harvest from it, we have some pesto that we want to make, or we're going to get to go down to that lovely river property and harvest more by the abundance, and maybe we'll have a video coming soon of how to make pesto with nettles.
Ooh, she got me.
Oh, the nettles.
Yeah. So it's called stingy because you do get a little bit of a reaction.
Stingly
nettles. Yes, new word. I think that about wraps us up for planting. Yeah, you're right. I think we.
Yep. I had a goal. I wanted to get everything in by May. We missed it by one day.
Yeah, it's okay. I still have a little bit. I've got some seeds that I want to throw down, but at least the things are in the ground. And there's a lot more to the garden that we actually didn't even go into. I feel like this video is going to be an all
We might
day
have
thing.
to do a part 2 and
I
a
think
3 and a
4
4.
and because we didn't talk about the oats that are growing, we didn't talk about the hibiscus, we didn't talk about the ashwagandha, we didn't talk about
the other garden beds.
we got a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyways, thank you guys for coming along with us, and don't be afraid to get your hands dirty
And learn something old.
all right, we'll keep you guys posted, and yeah, more to come. Bye guys.
Bye.